the benefit for agents is obvious. Like the benefit for agents to be able to say, there's a rule that 100% of listings all have to go through the MLS. Yeah, that does benefit agents. This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 339 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
And we're about to be up in the air. Nicole, you'll be traveling from Connecticut. I'll be traveling here from Naples.
Thank God, because it's freezing here in the Northeast.
October 15th, turn of the year. Every year it gets cold mid-October, but I'll be leaving sunny South Florida, and we'll both be arriving in Las Vegas here in just less than 24 hours of recording this.
I will be over there longer than 24 hours.
Okay,
but
so a couple more,
will.
about 24 hours. We'll
About
both be in
24 hours.
Vegas getting ready for BAM Mania. So if you're listening to this before Mania and you're attending, can't wait to see you out there. If you have FOMO and you're hearing this
There's
before,
still time.
there's still time. VIP on Thursday is sold out, so not time for that. There is time.
They could take my VIP spot. I could hand mine over. They're really,
you could scalp it. You could go outside of the
Yes.
Circa in Las Vegas and scalp your VIP ticket. But there is still some main event access for Friday, bammania.com. And we also have Legacy Club Thursday night for all attendees, cocktail hour, pre-registration, and then obviously another cocktail party after the main event. So can't wait to see you there.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's BAM, so there's going to be some cocktails.
That's
every
all
time
I
we
know.
every time we say clear cooperation on the pod, maybe you could don't have a whole cocktail because you'd be pretty wasted. Yeah. There's more clear cooperation news though, Nicole. We've got strong comments from Zillow, which I've mentioned. These comments are not anything new to me. I heard Susan Daimler, who is Zillow's president, articulate these comments with very precise language just a couple of weeks ago back in Vegas when I was there for Zillow Unlock. She's continuing to champion that message of her position, Zillow's position, that is the company's position as against clear cooperation going away. They want clear cooperation to stand. They believe that it is right for the consumer, and we're going to get into those comments. But first, there is one local association that is rejecting NAR's clear cooperation rule. That would be the Park City Board of Realtors, Park City, Utah. There's about 1,700 plus members in this MLS, so it's a small MLS. Nicole, this is also one of the reasons, like 1,700 members of an MLS. You've got a lot of MLSs like that. Some are obviously much bigger, but you have all these different MLSs. This is one of the reasons why there's never been a national MLS, right? You've got 1,700 here in Park City, Utah saying, we want to do things one way.
Right.
You got other MLSs that are saying you got to keep clear cooperation. NAR saying you got to keep it. The brokers have never been able to agree on anything in this industry, and they won't. I mean, most of them all hate each other, right? And so there's never going to be a national MLS. I can promise you that. This is just another example of why they'll never be able to pull that off. Now, I do think they could pull, if they really wanted to, they could pull something off. That's a story for another time, but it's not a national MLS. It'd be more kingpinning a certain portal, but that's a whole nother conversation. If you want me to talk about that, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll start talking about that here on the pod.
I have a feeling that we're going to talk about it anyway.
So maybe, but not today. We got to cover this one. So there's an October 3rd email from CEO Jamie Johnson, Park City Board of Realtors, that they let NAR know, hey, we're not going to do clear cooperation. So we're out on this. The decision followed a letter sent by Johnson. That email went out to the members. That followed the letter to NAR saying, nope, there's concerns about potential litigation related to the policy. That's the big thing now. Like as a broker, when you're pushing a narrative one way or another, it's always, and I know Jamie Johnson is the CEO of an MLS, but I'm just saying MLSs, brokers, everybody's in the same boat here after the settlements, that if you don't go a certain direction, it's like, hey, potential litigation. You can just throw your hands up on anything.
Well, I think that
Potential.
goes along. I mean, I think that's true for anything. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potential litigation. Can't do that.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
do anything now. Park
Nothing.
City and MLS serve a luxury real estate community, Nicole, if you did not know,
Mhm.
with a higher than average share of sellers with a preference for keeping their homes off the MLS. I think I mentioned it maybe last week where there was somebody gave a number out there that it was like 30% of Silicon Valley. Maybe that was
Doesn't
on Knowledge Brokers Pod. I don't know if I said it here or on Knowledge
No,
Brokers,
we
but
didn't talk about it here.
okay, yeah, Knowledge Brokers was talking about, 30% of Silicon Valley wants to keep their house off market. And I made this, like, Silicon Valley isn't reflective of 99% of the communities across America, right? Park
Right.
City is in that category as well, not
Right.
really reflective of what's going on in most markets.
Right.
And so if they have a higher than average share of sellers with a preference of keeping their homes off the MLS, that doesn't mean that that's going to be a trend that continues, throughout the rest of the country. Could you imagine in the markets that you work, Nicole, where there's going to be an overwhelming trend of sellers that are like, I don't want to be on the MLS and have the
Right.
widest audience?
No, there won't be. I
Yeah,
mean, I have yet to encounter anyone request that from me.
ever.
Ever.
Really?
Never.
I've heard it before, but it's really,
No, no,
yeah.
no, I'm not saying I haven't heard it.
Okay.
I have never personally had the request
Oh,
of,
wow.
"I want a list, but stay off the market."
Yeah, I've had very few of them because I think most, as you walk through the advantages in almost every situation,
Yeah.
when somebody is listing their home for sale, the advantages of being on the MLS and reaching the widest audience and leveraging all of that, most sellers are like, yeah, why wouldn't I do that?
Why wouldn't I, right?
There is this, pocket though, in a growing pocket in the industry that obviously, as we've covered in the past, that says, hey, sellers should have every option available to them. And that's what this Park City PCBR is saying. Hey, we serve a wealthy Utah community. There's a median home price of 1.7 million. Sellers of high-end properties, they might be more likely than sellers of median price properties to want more exclusive marketing approach, to not rack up DOM, to not have privacy revealed. All of those different things could be some of the reasons why they would take that path. And, MLS being the best option for most sellers might not be reflective of what some of the sellers in Park City believe for them. So the Park City Board of Realtors, like, this has been something, and you can go read more about this on nowbam.com. We have an article up on it, first reported by Inman. This has been something in Park City that people have really not been following anyways. Meaning, like, if somebody's breaking CCP, clear cooperation policy, and they get reported, like, the board will, like, reach out and have a conversation. It's not like, because they've never liked the rule to begin with, so they haven't enforced it, if that makes sense.
Right.
Um, the CEO of Summit Sotheby's International Realty in Park City says, "We hope this is a step forward. I hope this step forward is a sign of changes to come with the Park City Board and the industry." Also saying, "Hey, we don't want clear cooperation," and goes on to say that they're not like joining forces with like a Robert Refkin or the agencies Mauricio, but they're aligned with that way of thinking. More concerned, I get, with obviously their um, with their
Their
board
clients'
and,
requests
yeah,
too.
their clients'
I mean,
requests.
yeah.
Now Zillow's and many others, right? It's not just Zillow. It's uh, you know Redfin has taken this approach. Most brokers, I would say more brokers than who are in the other camp even are taking the approach that clear cooperation is a win for agents and consumers. This is what Zillow's position is from President Susan Daimler. And she says that Transparency and equitable access to real estate listings are at risk, threatening to push the industry backward. Sellers deserve to have their listings seen by the widest audience. Buyers deserve access to all listings. Private listings create disparity around the country. She has said private listing networks are bad. They are not. They're not pro-consumer. So sellers deserve. Here's a quote: "Sellers deserve to have their listings seen by the widest audience." And then the following quote is: "Buyers deserve access to all listings." Which one is one more true than the other? Are they equally true? What's your take on those two stances?
Well, I mean, yes, obviously having a seller on MLS, they deserve that, but if they don't want it, like, if they
That's a
don't
weird
want
way to phrase it,
like,
right?
if they don't want it, like, they don't want it, you know?
Nicole,
Like,
you deserve a Mercedes Benz.
thank you. Sure, yes. Actually, I don't know, I really like Audis, but,
You really like the Audi, so it's
I
like you might want
do.
the Audi instead.
But it's like, it's just so, and I get it, like, yes, buyers deserve, but, like, it's, like what we always say, like, I don't know. I
I
just
would
the whole thing is just so silly to me.
I
I
would
I
say
get
the
it.
the
It's
other statement is to me more true. Like buyers do deserve
right?
access to all listings. Like the more listings in one place that a buyer can see is very beneficial, and
Yeah.
they should have as close to that experience as possible. Obviously, that experience benefits Zillow and other major portals. If all listings are all on major portals,
But if a
that
seller doesn't want their home there, they don't have to put it there. Like,
right. And so now saying that sellers deserve to have their listings seen by the widest audience, if you have one of those sellers, which is going to be a small percentage of
right.
sellers that says, I just don't want my listing there, but no, you deserve it. But no, you deserve it. You must have
Right.
it.
No,
You,
you
you must
deserve
take
it.
it because you deserve it.
Yeah. Show them your home. Like it's that's it's funny because I remember when I first got into real estate too, the higher end market, like now, like everyone puts up as many photos as they can on the MLS. I remember like the higher end market, there was just like the outside photo, like, and then like maybe the backyard. Like they never showed the inside of these homes either, which again, in my mind is sort of the same like thought process. Like they want to maintain, their privacy. Because again, you are exposing yourself to such a huge, I mean, to anybody, like even people that aren't necessarily looking in Park City, I could Google that home and see it,
Yeah.
if it is on the MLS.
So I again, I've shared my thoughts in the past on this. I'll share kind of where I'm at right now as I continue to take information on this debate. Um, sellers deserving to have their listing seen by the water. It's like going to a birthday party. It's like, Byron, do you want a piece of the birthday cake? No, I'm good. Oh, come on, it's so
You
good.
deserve it.
You have to have it. You have to
You
have it. Everybody's eating it, and it's like, I don't like cake. I mean, I don't like cake.
right,
Please, no, I don't want it. No, you got to just have a bite. Just have a piece. Just have a this. Just have a that.
right.
You deserve it. You've been working hard. No, I don't want any cake.
None.
Um, so but there are levels to this where it's like decision, meaning there are levels to a seller's ability to literally say, "Hey, I don't want to do a showing with somebody unless they're extremely qualified." Like I can't. There's a restaurant down the street from where I'm sitting right now. It's a private restaurant. Like I never even knew those existed. They were building it, and I'm like, oh my god, this restaurant looks like it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to go. I'm
You
like,
can't.
it's being finished. This was like a year
Is it
ago. It's
like
being
is it like a Soho house? Like, do you
it.
like
It's literally a restaurant in just like off the main road, like where there's not strip malls, but there's
how
like
do you become
shopping
a
centers.
member?
I mean, it just looked beautiful, the exterior and everything. So I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm waiting to, get, notice of when I can get into this restaurant and when are
right.
they going to be opening? Well, there's
Well, you
no
deserve it.
information. There's no information out there. And then come to find out, you got to pay a membership fee, and then you're allowed to go to dinner there. They have some like I think some Rolls Royce or Bentley, one of the two. outside that you can like use. It's part of like the whole membership. They get some other perks as part of the membership, very, fancy bottles and all this kind of stuff. Well, the price tag to be a member is over $250,000. So, just because I deserve a nice steak and I'd love to eat there, I can't just show up there and be like, hey, give me a table here. I want to sit down and eat. Like,
So the $250,000 just gets you in the door. You still have to buy the food.
I think you still have to buy the food. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually don't even understand this restaurant. And I'm,
Maybe that could be like a business write-off or something.
it just kind of blows my mind that that's even a thing that exists. There's not a pretty landscape or anything. It's off of, anyways.
Anyway,
Point is,
you don't deserve it.
some sellers are going to say, just because hit showing time on my listing, you don't deserve to see the house.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just going to decide to not deal with that, public access to the
Right.
information on my house
Right.
because I have something so unique. And so I can see that argument. Now, what Susan is saying when she says this is, um, a benefit to consumers and agents, I do agree with her
Of course.
that the benefit for agents is obvious. Like the benefit for agents to be able to say, there's a rule that 100% of listings all have to go through the MLS. Yeah, that does benefit agents. That's the system that we operate in.
Right.
So, of course, there's a benefit to us. And as an agent, it's like, do I want, uh, you know, most or everybody to use the system that we're all operating on? Well, yeah, that is a clear benefit to agents. I do see the benefit is obvious for buyers. And then I see a small percentage of sellers who should have some type of flexibility in the rule. Okay, I
Right.
don't think on the sell side you can really make a strong argument for 100%. You can make a strong argument for 99+%, which maybe and that's probably where Susan's like, listen, if it's 99%, maybe half of the percent of people got to suck it up, buttercup, and go on the MLS. But obviously, they're taking the position, and some of these boards now, Park City, Utah board, is taking the position that not going to work for us.
Right.
I imagine that there might be some more of these smaller boards. Could you see? I don't know what the Aspen board is, but you could see maybe an Aspen. It won't happen in Miami because you have diversity in a city like Miami where there's, $300,000 condos and there's, you're not going to see a board like that do it. You wouldn't see it I don't even think where I'm sitting here in Naples where they have $300,000 membership restaurants, but small, little, tiny MLSs. Greenwich, Connecticut has a very closed MLS just for that community. Could you see it there, Nicole? I
Oh,
could see it there,
absolutely. Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
the here's the truth about some of these markets. Not only are they not an open, have this open mindset that Susan's talking about where everything should be fair and equal. Um, if you're an agent that is outside of Greenwich, Connecticut, meaning most of your business is done outside of Greenwich, your office is outside of Greenwich, and then you go try to show a home in Greenwich, most of the time you won't even get your call answered.
Right.
Like showing time will go unanswered, email unanswered, text unanswered, phone call unanswered. They'll just freeze you out to see if the buyer wants the house bad enough to just drop you as a buyer agent and go direct to them because you're not part of the club. If you're
Right.
not part of the club that does the broker opens every week and bounces around and all the agents know each other, they have an enclosed marketplace. And I'm not, listen, you may say, oh, Byron, that's not really fair. There was one deal last year where we let somebody from the outside in. This is, everybody knows that this is the truth. I don't know. It's not fair. I don't know if it's illegal. Maybe it's against NAR's ethical conduct, Nicole, but this happens. And I'm sure this happens in other markets.
Well, there's specific agents too, within our market that we could say does the
There's
same thing.
there's probably certain agents in every market doing something like that,
Correct.
and none of that's, by the way, none of that's okay. I'm just saying that is, um, kind of the reality of it. And so, that's where Susan's coming from, where it's like, hey, clear cooperation is a step towards more. I don't think she believes it's a perfect rule, and I've heard her say this. It's not perfect, but it's to her, to Zillow's standpoint, it's the closest to perfect.
Right.
Now, whether the rule goes away or stays, Zillow's going to be just fine. They have the attention.
It'll be just fine.
Oh yeah, they've got the attention, and I do think overall what's being said out there is like this is a huge benefit um, to agents, and so I think most agents are going to probably support that. I don't like telling a seller that they have to have one way of following things.
Right.
High disclosure, to be able to opt out, to be able to do something in a rare case, makes sense. There should be, some exceptions to this rule. And but overall, yeah, I would agree that it'll benefit most buyers. It'll benefit most agents. All right, Nicole. What's
Yeah.
the number one hit list in Vegas? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. The only thing that I've heard that I have to do is Sphere. That I've got to go to this big old bubble
I've
thing.
never I've never been in there. I've seen it a bunch
I've
of times
never
from the
been to
outside.
Vegas at all. The only other thing that I've heard is that I need to make sure I drink a lot of water. It's, I guess, really dry there. So they said like
It is the desert.
gallons,
That
like
is. Oh, this is your
drink.
first time in Vegas.
I've never been. I'm just gonna be like,
Oh my
I'm never
gosh.
gonna sleep. I'm just gonna take in all the lights and just, yeah, I've never been.
It's harder to sleep in Vegas, that's for sure.
I'm excited for it.
Can't wait to see everybody out there for BAM Mania. Hope you enjoy the pod. Let us know what your thoughts are. Park City, good move, bad move. What would you like your board to do? Let us know in the comments below. If you're going to be in Vegas, we'll see you out there. Keep it real, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.
August 17th approaching, it is more important than ever for agents to keep their clients, not just for the transaction, but for life. So I believe so much in what Reminder Media is doing. They're creating content that allows you to stay in front of your sphere of influence, the clients that you've transacted with in the past, so that they think of you first when they have a referral, when they have another transaction. A lot of people send a just sold or a just closed realtor talk mail. Reminder Media supports agents like Nicole, my co-host on The Real Word, in building out an authentic magazine where you can advertise your own properties. Here's an example of our award-winning luxury new development that we have in Connecticut. Put it right on the back and put in a whole bunch of relevant information. You can build out the content inside of your magazine and send it to maybe people you're following up with to get a listing, or people who are in your database right now who know you but might just forget about you because you're mixing in with all the postcards from the other agents. Reminder Media keeps you top of mind with the people that you want as clients for life. That's why we believe in so much of how they're helping agents just like you stand out. Go to remindermedia.com/BAM sample. Remindermedia.com/BAM sample today to get your sample and start reminding your clients exactly who you are today. At BAMX, we listen to what real estate professionals want and need. That's why our platform is filled with sought-after courses, content, and tactical assets for your business. And that's why we launched BAMX in a box with templates and scripts done for you, delivered each Friday. The best part? It's not coming from panel pontificators who bought their followers and don't sell any real estate. It's coming from top agents, team leaders, and content creators in the industry. It's education that actually shows you how to do what you need in today's market. And now it includes editable templates and scripts so you can easily deliver that knowledge to your database. Every day, we continue to add more content into BAMX, into our private Facebook community, content that works, content that our members have exclusive access to daily. So do not wait any longer. Use code REALWORD and join the thousands of agents taking their business to the next level today. Code REALWORD for 10% off. I'll see you in BAMX.